Hey everybody, good evening. Pedro here for PG's Continuing Journey channel. And I am up 3 pounds this week and weigh in, so my current weight stands at 294.8. But actually, I will take that as strap. I'm not going to be discouraged because I know what I did last week. Last week I did a lot of floating. As I mentioned, I was talking about how big the portion sizes were in my food treat last week, but that ended up being one food treat too many. Doing more chicken wings from what 7-Eleven a couple of days later, and other things. Anyway, so for this new week, I did like a self date, so to speak. So I had some quick errands to take care of, and I did like a self date to the tune of Popeye's new chicken sandwich and mashed potatoes and Coke Zero for Coca-Cola Zero for lunch, and for dessert, I ate chocolate ice cream sundae. And I did bacon and eggs for dinner as soon as I got home. So, the activity department, I got a lot of walking done, but I broke it up into bits and pieces. And so, I'm going to do the part tomorrow after my next therapy session. Because, as you know, with life happening and everything that's going on in the world, in this country these days, wants to mess around with my mental health. And speaking of my mental health, I kindly said to a couple of coworkers, that's why I don't follow politics and religion. Because for my mental health reasons, I don't want to talk about it. I know the other. Because when I read these things on my that appear on my social media forums, or even on the news, or even that ad that some bitch by the name of Christy Nome does, I immediately change the channel. Because I'm saying this Trump administration is nothing but effing bitch. You know what I'm saying? But so is karma. Let me not, let me not, as I said, I don't like, this is why I don't talk about politics or no religion. Let God handle all of that. And I will say this storm is only for right now, good. And when it passes, karma's going to come get them. Because I will continue to live in my truth no matter what. But I will say that, but as far as what's been going on, and again, it's tough for me to talk about it. Because that conservative fool who's murdered, my condolences go out to his wife and his 2 children. Because I know all too well what it is to lose my dad at an early age. But I do not support racism. I do not support those who are true examples of the devil. And prior to his murder, nobody was talking about him. I know I never did. I never heard of him. But after what I found out through a couple of relatives, I'm glad I didn't. Because I said, I do not support racism. I do not support those who exemplify the devil. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Both that conservative who was murdered and the kid who murdered him will both be answering to God. Because there are no winners. So, that's all I'm going to say. And you notice how I'll say his name because, as I said, this is why I don't follow politics and I don't follow religion. Because all I'm going to say is, when karma explodes all over this administration, boy, I want to see all the action. And look what just happened recently. I don't stay up to watch the late night talk shows, but a late night talk show host was recently pulled off the air. Because of something he said. What shit is this? You know what I'm saying? Here's what I got this. Well, you know what? Since this is my channel and nobody controls what I say here, I'm just gonna say this. They can go on for themselves. They can go on for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Back to my health, weight loss health journey. So what I didn't squeeze in enough exercise. I didn't exercise enough last week. So that contributed to my weight gain. But you know what? I'm going to be okay. I'm okay with it. Because as always, I do my best never to deprive myself of anything. And you know what? I managed to get a lot of things done today. I'm proud of myself. I finally figured out how to get to the Stop and Shop in my neighborhood mall via the bus. So it's a 20-minute walk to get to that bus. It's only 3 stops, but it's very packed. It comes every hour. But that 20-minute walk is a very quiet neighborhood. Very quiet. And it was well worth it. As I said, with that and the self-date at the Popeyes and Arbel and doing a couple of our errands that I need to take care of, it was a wonderful, wonderful self-date. Because I deserve this. You know what I'm saying? This year, the house that I'm living in, and the things, and helping out my auntie put, unpack all the stuff, get everything together. I was doing that all day long, all week long, all vacation week long. So I really didn't have no vacation this year until my 3-day mini vacation, in which I got to finally hang out with a gay friend of mine. He was actually the first guy I ever dated. So I still love him as a friend because he taught me a lot. I was new to dating. I was also new to coming out because, like I said, once I came out the closet, the same way with both Cullen's 45 and 47 administrations, I lost friends along the way. But you know what? That's their loss, not my opinion. I was once advised to look up this and that, and now watch instead of what you hear on MSNBC, CNN, or Fox. But I tell them I don't watch either of the other. It's very simple. I don't have time. I'm not quiet because I'm not socially awkward. I am not quiet because I am antisocial. I am quiet because I am anti-bullshit. I don't have time for bullshit right now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm at a time. But you can see, this is what happens with my mental health when I talk about this is why I don't like to talk about politics and religion. As far as religion was concerned, I tried to follow the footsteps of relatives who didn't do shit for me in my entire life by trying to fit into this mega church, and it didn't work out because I was sacrificing hours of sleep just to be a so-called born-again Christian, and that became the biggest mistake of my entire life. Actually, a mistake that took me a long time to recover. Just like what happened to me on an A train in 2022, and just like what happened to me on the E train 2 nights in a row, going home from work. All those traumatic experiences takes me years to recover. So for me, the last thing I need to have happen to me right now is to get brainwashed one more time. And I refuse to be brainwashed one more time. So back to what I was talking about earlier. I do not, my condolences go out to the family of that activist who was murdered, and I do not support violence, but I do not support racism either, and I do not support the devil. And both him and his killer will both be answering to God. So that's why I say, Father God, you handle it. I will also ask you to handle all those who don't like me. I have people who pass by me and they'll say nothing to me, but I don't make that my problem either, because I'm at a time that I don't have time for bullshit right now. I gotta focus on me. I'm doing my best to save myself from being back at the 300-pound mark. So it's time for me to get serious. You know what I'm saying? Alright, I'm going to wrap it up right here. And hopefully this new week we'll see improvements on the scale. But I got to work on them. Alright, have an awesome day. Make yourself a priority.
Stay safe out there. Stay healthy.